Hello and welcome to the popular podcast Urban Legends. This is a two-parter again, I'm afraid. It went on a little long and I couldn't edit it down. I am, of course, the actor Java Edge, and I play the character Christopher Flynn. I also played the bus driver in the film adaptation Please Sir. Fantastic times. I could tell you some stories, but maybe at the end. For now, here is a podcast.
Welcome to Urban Legends, the podcast about urban legends and how to act in a courteous and refined manner, but much less about that. Here's your hosts, Neil and Chris.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Urban Legends, the podcast about urban legends with a very waning interest in etiquette tips. I am virtual lumberjack Chris Flynn, and with me, as always, is pencil magnate
Neil Herbert.
Hi Neil, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. Good. Yeah.
How's the pencil business?
Plenty of lead in my pencil. That's about as good as I can come up with there, Chris. Tired pun.
Are you
pencil jokes in the pencil industry? God, you should.
Oh God, bet it's a right laugh on a pencil convention.
there's some right characters.
I bet. So, are you finding that sales are down because of the increase of digital stuff, or sales are up because of Zennials and, to a certain extent, millennials investing more into the creative experiential side of life?
Exactly. So, if you want to write down on your mixtape what you're, and you use ballpoint pen and you're committing, aren't you? So, you use a nice HB pencil with an eraser on the end. You can just,
Is 2B still the most popular of the pencils?
2B or HB is kind of roughly.
Do you do the 2B or not 2B joke at the conferences?
Yeah, of course.
Lovely.
That's a classy one. I mean, that's sort of early evening,
before we had to have vino.
Yeah, we'll have you to vino struck out. I think it gets a little bit more raunchy.
Oh, I bet. Oh, I hope you brought some rubbers, that kind of thing. So I'm now a virtual lumberjack, it seems. I've been playing a computer game called Lumberjack Dynasty. And so what happens in it, right, is you go to help your uncle and aunt do up their wood farm, wood mill, so that they can sell it. And then they go, "Oh, right, could you come from the big city?"
What do you know about that?
I think, yeah, exactly. What do you know about it? But apparently you're pretty handy. And they go, "Oh, you seem really good at this. Yeah, you should just buy the farm off me and then move here and have your family here and have a family and stuff." And then you just go, "Yeah, all right." because you're just like... And the thing is, the farm costs 250,000 euros you've got to give them, and that's mates rates. It's not bad, right? Except it's set in a war-torn area. No, it's not. But the thing is, right, that you've got to get that kind of money together, but they don't give you any equipment or anything, and you haven't got any forests. So
I thought you'd be... So you got no trees.
No,
and there's no mill. So what are you buying? Exactly?
There's a mill. The mill is there, and you fix it up so it's working. But you've got no trees to process, so you've got to buy bits of forest. But the thing is, your main source of income, if you're me at this point, is eggs, because I just bought all the chickens I could. So I sell about 50 eggs a day. It's quite front load. It's going to take me a while to get to mill owning money, and a pallet of pine planks gets you about, on a good day, maybe 1,500 quid. So, and from that, you've had to buy a truck to move pallets. You've got to buy forests. I mean, I'm just hoping the dozy cunts die before before I have to pay them off for the farm. Yeah, but I'm enjoying it. It's a good time sink for the single man.
I've never really got into this. It's like when you first described it, that sounds a bit more like sort of a SimCity thing. But
no,
when you get the kind of like lawnmower simulator and all that kind of shit, I was thinking you were just chopping down trees, and it's like, oh, you can upgrade your chainsaw or something. But no, it sounds like resource management.
Yeah, it kind of is. The game previous to this was called Farmers Dynasty, and I played that a lot. I basically completed that because I think I bought all the fields, and I got married and had a baby, and the baby's terrifying. So I'm hoping the same thing will happen with this game. Anyway, I digress. Just thought I'd let you in a little window into the life of popular podcaster and voiceover actor and raconteur Chris Flynn there. You see, it's not all glamour. Not all glamour at all. We're just people too. I think you've got to remember that.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget it. You put yourself on a pedestal.
Or don't care.
Yeah. Or, for your three listeners a week who lionize you. Just remember, we're just people, okay? Neil, so I've got a couple of etiquette tips for you. I'm going to keep pushing through. I don't know what episode this will be, but I'm going for some Chinese etiquette tips today, Neil. Mm-hmm. How's your Mandarin? Because it's all in Chinese.
Ni hao.
Ni hao, brilliant.
The only thing I can say in Mandarin, I think it means how are you? Or good.
Yeah, you good. Ba. So, Neil, Chinese etiquette tip. Don't be too shy to try. Hush, hush, eye to eye. A Chinese dinner table is a lively place full of conversation and delicious exotic food. When invited over for dinner, either at a Chinese family house or in a restaurant, the best way to ensure you're abiding by Chinese etiquette is to observe what everyone else is doing and try and do the same. I mean, that's true everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wait for someone to tell you where to sit. Mostly the guest is the first one to be seated by the host, quite right. Followed by the seniors and then the juniors. The host often starts eating first and offers the first toast. So that's not very exotic. So wait before you start eating until your host tells you to do so. Be sure to eat plenty of food to show you're enjoying it, and don't be too shy to try everything that's offered to you. Don't finish off the whole dish, but leave a small amount of food on your plate or serving tray. It shows good manners and tells the cook that she has prepared enough food. In China, it's customary to eat food like chicken and shrimps with your hands and to drink from your bowl. Using chopsticks would be appreciated, and our guides can show you how to use them. But if you're feeling unsure, do not hesitate to ask for cutlery. No Chinese host would want you to go hungry. When you do eat with chopsticks, make sure you don't stick them upright in the bowl of rice like you're stabbing it. When you're not using them, leave them flat on the table. When you're finished eating them, place them flat across your bowl. So there you go. I got culturally done by China once. when I was traveling, when I was about 20, 21, I went to Hong Kong.
Okay.
And what we ordered what we wanted off the menu, not knowing that when you order something, they bring enough for the table. So there was 4 of us, so we ended up with enough to feed an army. And to this day, I can't eat sweet and sour sticky pork because the waves of sickness come back. So, Neil, anything there surprise you? Or do you think the grounding that you have in etiquette that I've given you would mean that you'd handle yourself properly?
I think I'd do all right there. Yeah, and I think I'm reasonably okay with chopsticks. I don't try and sort of puncture food with them or use them as, like harpoons. I think the only thing there I wasn't sort of so familiar with is the,
seat
to be seated, things like that. I mean, it feels quite formal, actually, but fair enough. I think, good advice. Just wait and look what everyone else is doing and just try and follow.
I think that is good advice.
Yeah.
So here's another one.
Going.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I've been to Hong Kong, which was under Chinese control at the time, but I would like to see China proper. Because the thing with Hong Kong is it's quite spectacular because it's all very tall buildings, but it's a little bit soulless, I thought, because it's just banking and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, interesting place to go, but I think, it'd be nice to see the sort of interior, like go up the Yangtze River and all of that sort of thing. But yeah.
So here's another one for you. Chinese curiosity.
Ooh.
For foreigners, Chinese people may come across as being very curious. Chinese people aren't afraid to ask personal questions, even if you've just met. So don't be, which is completely opposite to Victorian English, where you shouldn't ever ask a direct question.
Known someone for 20 years, and it's like,
don't even know their surname. So don't be surprised to be asked things like your age, your education, or your work, marital status during your first conversation. You do not have to answer these private questions if you don't want to. Just explain to them you don't want to talk about your personal life. When you're out and about, you may encounter some curious looks or even seemingly random shouts of hello. Sometimes these shouts are coming from a vendor wanting you to sell something, same everywhere in the world apart from England. Sometimes it's from someone who's trying to communicate with a non-Chinese, but because it's coming from behind or in passing, it may come across as cheeky. Nevertheless, these shouts of hello are usually a friendly gesture. In most cases, the only way Chinese people know how to get a foreigner's attention. Whereas I found when travelling around the world, like, I sound really travelled. I'm not. I did a bit of travelling in my 20s, but what they tend to do is go, "Are you English? David Beckham, lovely jubbly, Blanca." So that's what I found people tend to say. That's what in the early noughties people knew about British culture. David Beckham and Only Fools and Horses.
I can get Beckham because he was like properly world famous for a period of time. But Del Boy having gone as far as, well, I suppose Hong Kong,
Bali.
Yeah,
Bali. There was a lot of that.
Oh,
yeah.
I wouldn't have thought it'd be that. Well, I suppose it probably has been syndicated all over the shop, but it was a long running.
Yeah,
but
strange.
Could be worse exports, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, but to be honest with you, the sort of kind of like, the kind of comedy would probably be, it'd be nice if it was reasonable.
It's a nice broad comedy, and basically the basic premise of it is someone from a poor background, trying to work just outside of the law to earn a bit of extra scratch.
And I think tricky, but nothing too.
And I think that's probably universal, and it probably plays quite well in countries with quite a lot of poverty.
No, absolutely. I think that's a good point, actually, because, it is. It's kind of like, he never quite... Well, I think at the end he becomes a millionaire, doesn't he? But I try to think... early on it was good, actually, and as you say, it was kind of like setting... Well, actually, there's quite a bit of that. You think about, Steptoe and Son and Afghan and stuff like that. There is a tradition of sort of working-class comedies in the UK, but, this one, it's a bit more...
Well, that one was particularly like that because it was Thatcher, wasn't it?
Yeah,
where
it's a bit more
money
fun,
was
exactly.
king.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, it was kind of like just self-made. You can imagine Del Boy possibly voting Tory or something. It's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, probably.
But having said that, good luck to something like that.
Said that, but you could imagine that if he was Barlenses and living in Cooter, you could imagine he might be selling knockoff watches like they do. So, that's just someone scraping by trying to get a little advantage. I think that's a universal thing in post-industrial societies.
Looking after the family. Dear old mum. Used to mention her, I think, about twice an episode.
Granddad.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Or was it Uncle who came in off of it?
Yeah, he apparently, my mum was telling me, that guy who played Granddad he retired from work at like 60 and then did acting lessons and then just became an actor like that late on.
Oh, that's good.
Inspiration for us all there, Neil.
Indeed.
Get ourselves some acting lessons. Hollywood beckons. I quite wonder, or Nollywood maybe, Nigerian Hollywood. I'll get a role there.
Sort of like action movies and mad posters and stuff.
Well, they're starting to produce stuff for Netflix, so it's quite a developed system.
I'll check that out.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, no. So that's that sorted out. You're all right for a bit if you go to China. If someone goes hello, don't strike them immediately.
I'll try not to.
So what are we looking at today? I believe it also has a Chinese or Japanese feel to it, although not how you'd expect.
Well, yeah, it's so actually we're off to South America.
Oh, again.
Peru, yeah. I can't remember. Can't remember where LB came from.
Chile.
Peruvian. He was Chile, wasn't he? Yeah, that was it. Yeah. So now we're a bit further up now. We're over in Peru, and yeah. So today we're going to talk about La Casa Matusita. So it's the House of Matusita. So actually a Japanese family, apparently. So, so it's effectively, Chris, this is it's a haunted house story. Classic.
Whoa! A bit paranormal, finally.
Paranormal, finally, yeah. So we'll see what's going on with this. But effectively, yeah, you've got a haunted house, and it's set in Lima in Peru, so in the capital city.
Yeah, the capital.
And if you go down to Lima, down to Peru, you can ask the guides about the stories of.
Go down Peru.
Down Peru.
You're going down Peru.
Down Peru, you're going to go and Machu Picchu, and that haunted house, isn't it? Big yellow.
Yeah, go down Peru, have some cans.
Hang out there for a couple of days. Be all right.
Yeah, go Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
I stole some vermouth from my mum's cupboard. Let's go Machu Picchu.
Yeah, go and see some llamas. Be all right, wouldn't
it? Go llama tipping.
You wouldn't want to do that because especially up in the mountains, they might sort of go down further than you'd like.
Roll down.
Yeah, exactly. That would be good, presumably.
No, but I mean, if you did it on the kind of stepped fields that they cut into the mountains, you'd probably be all right.
Yeah.
You didn't do it on the edge.
Yeah, that's true. I'm thinking
that's why they did it. That's what I've
do you
heard.
reckon it was because it's got the spate of
llama tipping. Yeah. The rivers at the bottom of the valley were getting all dammed up with
llamas.
That dizzy llamas.
Yeah, I'm furious. I mean, they're just spitting all over the shop.
Dizzy Llama sounds like a good hip-hop act from Lima.
I was thinking it might be like a kind of like early 90s Madchester band.
Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? Hacienda.
Yeah, like a baggy cat.
We are the Dizzy Llamas.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You could see it just like a minor player on this thing.
Yeah. Oh, and of course, we were all surprised. When Madchester came out, pills were rife, and we were all really surprised that the Dizzy Llamas didn't make it because, in a lot of ways, they were a father figure to a lot of us. They started in the mid '80s doing the sound.
Well,
that kind of.
They never sold out, Chris.
Bez was. That's where we found Bez. He was he was in the Dizzy Llamas.
He's riding from the Dizzy Llamas. They wouldn't let him get on stage, but we were like, yeah, happy Mondays, do what you like. Anyway, enough of that. Okay, so
never enough.
Well, we'll come back to Madchester thing, I'm sure. I mean, definitely, I think we could do a whole episode on Shaun Ryder, to be honest with you.
He's all right.
No, I like Shaun Ryder, even, but I mean, they're not really urban legends, but the stories around his like I'll go with one that made me laugh. It's apparently, according to legends, they were recording in some studio, and he sold like the couch for crack money.
Yeah. He did love crack.
Apparently, allegedly.
No, he talked about it.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
He loved crack.
He's
off the crack and that now, but he considers himself clean, but he's still on the drink.
Yeah, you can tell he's lived a bit of a life, hasn't he?
Yeah, good for him.
Absolutely.
Well, he was a villain, wasn't he? He was like a bit of a villain before he got into music.
I don't know too much about his origin story, actually. Yeah, origin.
It's not a superhero,
yeah, or villain, but
yeah.
No. Well, I could imagine. The thing for me, I think quite like.
He kind of because he didn't do well at school and that kind of stuff, and then he found kind of a group of people where all people kind of looked up to him or liked him when he sort of started being a bit of a villain, like, tough guy, sold drugs, that kind of thing.
No, I only really know for Happy Mondays. It's just kind of like, I think it's as well. I quite like this. We get some of this what can I sort of term an unconventional singer, because like he doesn't hit pitch, and it's quite a sort of, but it does. He'll do stuff on songs that wouldn't work with anyone else. Like he did that, that Gorillaz track, and it's like,
it's
exactly. You got the sort of really nice kind of track, and sort of singing pitch, and then him just, but it works.
It works,
yeah. Anyway.
Unfortunately, people like him are going to become who. I mean, I think that unconventional singers.
Imagine Sean Ryder. Fucking hell. He wouldn't know.
You need a supercomputer. I think the thing is that unconventional singers and people who kind of often sing at the very kind of edge of what their voice can do often will come out with things that sound brilliant, and because now there seems to be a kind of cookie cutter of what a singer should be, which is essentially Mariah Carey, then, we're just going to lose a lot of that kind of stuff unless you kind of dig around on SoundCloud or whatever. But people like that won't become popular necessarily now because it's very polished. But then we're losing something from that.
Yeah, and I think there's always been that kind of like very polished kind of side of music, but I think the problem is now it's old man yelling at fucking clouds, but there's too much use of auto-tune. Just sound like yourself. Because if your vocals heavily processed, you'll just end up sounding like everyone else. Mariah Carey does have her own voice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, she does. But then everyone,
I know exactly what you mean. It's like
everyone whoa, doing all that kind of sort of cod gospel stuff, which is brilliant if Mariah Carey does it. I mean, I like some Mariah Carey songs. I'm not a huge fan, but I can recognise that she's got an amazing voice. Mary Jane Blige, loads of singers, but not
everyone can sound the same.
No, but that's kind of when you see people doing auditions for stuff, then they always try and sound like that kind of. Like showing off range, sort of weird. And do you know what? Like it's a really niche, specific way of singing as well.
Yeah,
like that isn't like, but everyone, that's kind of what's expected. When it's kind of weird that's become prevalent. Like that's how you sing because that's one way, a very specific way of singing.
Well, I think that was the kind of Simon Cowell Evil Empire and Simon Fuller kind of thing, isn't it? I think that's become slightly less in favour now. Those kind of like those X Factor shows and all that sort of stuff, where they all just churned out the same kind of people. But yeah, right. Anyway,
so Haunted House,
Matusita. Okay, so I mean, actually, you look at the picture of this place. It looks quite nice. Actually, it's well known apparently. Lima. It's a big yellow building. If you sort of go along and Google it,
it's nice, isn't it? Sort of 20s,
huge. Yeah. But it's well known due to the paranormal happenings people have witnessed here from the beginning. So it was built during colonial times. So apparently apparently the first occupant was a Persian woman named Parvena de Vespa. Her arrival was mysterious. She had no family or friends or anything connecting her to the viceroyalty of Peru. And from this, people started to speculate that there was something supernatural about her. She was known amongst...
Of course.
Yeah, single woman, I don't like that. So she was known amongst the neighbours as a healer, and she was seen accused of witchcraft by the Spanish Inquisition.
Oh, there we go.
Get the Spanish Inquisition involved. I'm not going to do the Monty Python sketch. So, they got involved, and funnily enough, they found... And, normally I'm quite pro a bit of devil getting into these stories, Chris, but...
You love the devil.
No, not. But I think if you get tried by the Spanish Inquisition, there's really only one outcome. I think they're going to find. So anyway, they claim that she'd made a pact with the devil to cast spells and curses that would cause misfortune to others. And she was identified as a practitioner of the occult and sentenced to burn at the stake. Seems like a harsh punishment.
Do you mind if I just weave something into this? Because I was having a look at Sussex legends earlier, and there's I mean, they're not great. I couldn't find anything worth
There's
doing,
the
to be
Devil's
honest.
Dyke, isn't there? Where apparently
There's the
it was
Devil's
towed
Dyke.
out by the devil for some reason. I can't remember them.
Apparently, sort of this area of Sussex was one of the last to go Christian, and the devil was going to basically dig the dyke so that he could flood the inland because they were all turning Christian. Apparently. But so Chanctonbury Ring, which is fairly famous, I was just reading about that, and so what it is it's just a ring of trees, but they were only planted in 1760. I thought they were more ancient than that. Mm-hmm. But what I really like here is one of the stories, because they've got several stories about walking around trees a certain number of times, clockwise or anti-clockwise. But this one's really good because you've got to be really hard up to go for this fucking deal, right? If you walk around the ring anti-clockwise 7 times, then you will summon the devil, who will offer you soup, porridge, or a bowl of milk in exchange for your soul.
That's quite a pricey supermarket, isn't it? It's real like specialty, like
it's like a Waitrose,
like sourdough bread or something. You know, £1 for a loaf of bread. That's a lot, but it takes a good day.
I mean, you don't. It's not even like it's being able to play the guitar really well.
No, exactly.
Like, do you want some milk? Yeah. That'll be your soul. But
well, at least explore. That's not really much of a Faustian pact, is there? It's like,
I mean, maybe he's low. Maybe that's what you're
then, isn't he?
He's lowballing. And you go, oh, well, how about? And you go in with, well, how about I'm king of the world? And then he goes, all right, I'll I'll give you a Volkswagen Polo. And then you go, well, it's just trying to meet in the middle somewhere where you've just got like £1 million on a yacht.
That'd be depressing, wouldn't it? If you
went, it's not worth any more than that.
The crossroads is like, right, okay.
It's not worth any more than that. I'm doing you a favour.
I want to be like the world's best guitarist, and I just want people to,
adore me
for your soul. Okay, right.
For your soul, mate.
Now, let's go. You're going to have to manage your expectations here, I'm afraid. You're the devil making a pitch. He's like, I'll be honest with you, I'm not going for that. No.
Yeah. I'll give you a bowl of soup, and even then I'm making a loss.
Take it or leave it. Trust me, there's nothing to.
You know what? The amount of
it's barely worth take it or leave it in your soul. You've barely got one.
The amount of paperwork that I'm going to have to do. You can have, I don't know what. You can have a bowl of soup, chicken soup. No. You can have Scotch broth.
Oh no.
Yeah, that'd be pretty.
Where'd you go from there?
The thing is, as well, like when you've left your village going, see you all later, suckers, I'm going to be a rock star. I'm going to go up, the devil's going to give me everything. And then you'll all see, burnt your bridges at the Coopers. Fuck this, I'm not making any more barrels. I'm going to be a rock star.
Oh, man. Yeah, man.
Come back with your tail between your legs.
Yeah, better do more praying, I guess.
Can I have my job back? Oh, I thought you were going to be a rock star. Oh, shut up. No, I decided against it.
Yeah.
Decided my soul was worth more than that.
You all know that's not true. What did he offer
We
you?
all know that's...
Half a pint of milk.
What's he offer you? A cow? Less than a cow?
Jesus.
Fucking hell. All right, you can have your job back, half wages. Yeah, sorry, I just thought I'd weave that in because I had the devil.
That was good. Unfortunately, it's probably better than my story, but there we go. Okay, no, so as she was burning at the stake, she cast a final spell. I mean, we're assuming now that she was a witch because she just sounded like a healer, but okay, fair enough. So apparently,
the same thing going on.
Got it right this time round.
Good. Well, I think they've got a pretty decent hit rate.
Yeah, can't do the time, don't do the crime. That's what they say.
Don't heal the sick.
Yeah.
What would Jesus think of that?
Can't take the steak, don't be on the make. I don't know.
Hey, can't take the fire, don't be a liar.
Yeah. I'll be honest, they got less pithy as they went on, but they
were burning a lot. To be fair, they were burning a lot of people.
But they're there to root out heretics. They're not there to come up with catchy slogans. So fair enough. Yeah. Well, anyway, so as you would, I think it's one of those kind of things you've seen plenty of times before. She put a curse on them with her dying breath as she was being sort of burnt at the stake. So that's kind of like setting our scene in terms of the origins of this house. So it's you got colonialism and burning at the stake and a curse.
Spanish Inquisition. You've got a Persian woman.
Yeah. So apparently it would appear that the curse was successful because there's been quite a few events. So, fair play.
Yeah, good.
So quite a few things have happened in this house ever since. So many years after the execution, a wealthy and cruel man purchased the land and built a home there. He was abusive.
So you want to purchase a house? Can you just tell us your income and what your job is? Well, look, put it this way, mate. I'm wealthy, and what's your job? I'm a cruel man. Oh, okay, fantastic. Just sign me. What do you do? Cruel stuff to get money. Well, that's very much in keeping with the times.
I'm as happy as long as it's whether it makes me money or whether it's cool. If I get a bit of both, then that makes me happy.
Money, cruelness.
Build mill in Peru and then put children. Feeding machines. You don't need to anymore. We've got steam engines now. Don't care.
Not cruel enough. And I want them to carry the coal from Yorkshire to Peru.
From an example of how cruel a man this person was, they don't really explain why he was cruel, or how he was cruel. But apparently, he was very abusive to his servants. And that's one thing they say, isn't it? You can always tell the measure of a person by how they treat, somebody who's serving them food or something like that. Well, obviously, the majority is that.
Who says servants.
That? Oh, yeah, that's a.
Did you grow up with servants?
No, I said that's why I said people who are serving them food, because obviously it would apply to
like waiting staff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not servants.
I agree. If people are horrible, well, I just think if people are horrible to anyone in customer services,
you can get away with it. I used to work in a public facing thing, and that's half of what it is with some of these people. They just know they can pick on you because you can't say anything back. Well, you can if you do a passive aggressive thing. They can't quite out with them. But anyway,
you can. Do stuff to their food.
I've never been a food server. I don't think I'd do that. Someone would have to be very objectionable for me to spit in their food or something.
No, I mean, I'm not interested in.
I wouldn't do that.
Doing that kind of stuff particularly, but some people do.
Well,
I know that some people do it, and I think is it really worth running the risk?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you shouldn't do it anyway, just because it's a lot.
Hello, my name is Michael Winner. It's just Michael Winnering the waiting staff.
It's not a bit.
What's this on here? Oh, it's reduced snail. Lovely, because I am very exotic in my tastes.
Very basic in my films. I can't do the Michael Winner accent, but
yeah, you can give it a go. Just got
very basic in the way I direct films. Very exotic.
That's perfect.
There you go.
That's better than mine. Once again,
I'm just thinking back to the old "Calm down, there. It's only a commercial."
Yeah, calm down there.
As once hilariously done in Parliament by one of our, increasingly deteriorating ministers. Yeah, it's just like what's the thing, isn't it? Was Cameron the worst, or because he allowed all these things to happen, or because you kind of think worst prime minister than, but then he opened the door for all this fucking trash, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a race to the bottom. There's no, it's like lining up different turds and deciding which one's less pleasant to eat.
I would rather have a dog shit on my left shoe or my right shoe. Yeah, doesn't really matter.
How I do Michael Winner is the Calm Down do adverts, and I mix it a bit to make it caricature-esque with Eric Hall, the agent. Monster. I've got a cigar, monster.
Talking of characters.
Anyway, he's dead now, isn't he?
Did he? I didn't know he passed.
He died fighting for ISIS in an airstrike.
That sounds about right. lads, I'm never going to get my 50% if you don't.
I have defeated the world of sports and agency. I now want to defeat the Western powers on the Levant. Monster. Yeah, he just believed his own hype too much. Yeah. Just to confirm that is all true.
But that's you saying that, Chris. So fair enough.
Exactly. Facts, man, Chris.
Come here for facts. You're in the right place. You'll have nothing but right. Talking of
yes.
facts.
Say some more facts.
Facts
me. Phil, fact me like one of your French girls.
Let me launch some facts into your fact hole.
Oh.
You'll either impose.
Okay,
I don't know where we're going with that, but anyway,
it's welcoming.
I never thought. Yeah, I would. Yeah, okay, let's move on.
I thought you'd say anything like this.
To your Winslet, but there you go. That's what's happening.
That's what everyone was. That's what people used to say in the schoolyard.
Fair enough. Okay, so
when I was in school, and obviously you're several years older, and used to hang around the gates.
Talking about French girls. There's nothing weird about that.
Oh, you blonde lads. Anyway, yes.
Right.
The house.
So, wealthy and cruel man. I think that's the 10th time I've done that nonsense. Right, so he purchases the home, built something there, and he was very abusive to his servants. So, they figure they're not having this. They're going to get a bit of revenge. So, he was hosting a lunch for some of his mates. I imagine they were all obnoxious wankers as well.
Cruel mates. Other members.
Again, we're talking about, splitting your food and stuff like that. You wouldn't want to do that, even if they are. Maybe they
poison it.
I mean, well, no. What they thought they'd do instead was they would lightly poison the drinks.
Lightly poison them?
Yeah, with a hallucinogenic drug.
Oh, nice. Wow, they've got loads of them in South America.
Not to kill, but just have a bit of fun at their expense.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Chris, it backfired because they've done this in a haunted house, haven't they? They've only gone and done it in a fucking haunted house.
Oh, no.
Oh, which dog? Oh,
no.
Bones in my drink in the... I don't know which I did.
Put ayahuasca in his drink. This place is haunted.
I was going out there, didn't you? So what do you think happens? They would just...
I imagine they slipped the surly bonds of reality and enter the spirit kingdom.
Yeah, and then they realised that all man is one, and started treating everyone,
their servants very well.
Yeah,
gave their money away.
Well, it became a commune after that, and no, that's not what happened. We wouldn't be talking about.
Oh, no.
It'd be lovely. I'm afraid what happened instead. Soon after the meal began, the servants heard manic laughing, screaming coming from the room. They waited until the sound stopped. They weren't going to get involved with that, obviously. Went in to see what happened. What did they find?
Mm-hmm.
Complete carnage. Bodies with limbs torn off and blood running down the walls and all over the floor. They torn each other to pieces. I reckon it was 50-50 that was going to happen anyway, to be honest with you.
And members of the Bullingdon Club.
Exactly.
Peru,
they
France.
end up with at least one dismembered.
I mean...
Not really you're not calling it a party.
I mean, we're both quite strong. Do you think that we could pull someone's arm off?
Not. Absolutely not. It's like all of these. You get these things.
What if you put your weight on chest as leverage?
No, because the sinews and all the connective tissue. It's like you can't have a chicken's hard enough. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like I don't know why you're pulling that. Like you could probably pull an arm out of its socket, like wrench it out. Do you know what I mean? Like you pull hard enough. But no,
there's no way to find out, is there, without causing a scene? So I guess. So they've pulled each other. So was there like one person left who'd won?
Well, see, I mean, having said that, and there could have been knife play involved. Who knows? Or maybe they had very sharp cutlery. But let's say limbs torn off, blood. I mean, I suppose they could have been demonically possessed. So like that. Who knows? A normal set of human beings couldn't have done that to one another. I don't think. But no, all dead and all dismembered.
Don't people on PCP have superhuman strength because it like massively gets all the adrenaline and dopamine going, or something like that?
I think your pain tolerance becomes very high. You wouldn't get superhuman strength. There's you like a shot of adrenaline. You might be able to sort of like do things that I think you could. I mean, you hear stories about like someone PCP like tearing off their face and stuff, but ripping limbs out, I don't think. I don't think you could become super strong. I don't think that's.
What about if there was one of them was a mother and their baby had got trapped under the people, and they got superhuman strength, like when they can lift up cars and that.
Yeah, a rumour I've heard as well, which I don't believe in. But another one of those. So, well, yeah, they could have been. So, what do you reckon? So,
a baby crawled in, got trapped.
Baby crawled in the window, and all these mates, and then mother, as any other words, had to tear the whole room full of.
Rip a limb from limb to try and get to the baby. Yeah,
I mean, there's no evidence that happened, but it's possible, I suppose.
Is there evidence that it didn't happen? Well, no. Yes, mountains of it. I'm just putting an alternative theory out there. That's what I'm here for. My out of the box thinking.
Whatever it was, it backfired badly, and
definitely
they
a mother
ended up spending the rest of their lives in a mental institution because they couldn't take what they'd seen.
Oh, what, the servants?
Yeah. I mean, all of the people in the room were dead. Him and all his mates.
Do you think they were just having a crawl off? See what's the crawlest.
Well, this is the thing, yeah. Because I do think it was just like a bit of a saucy prank that went a bit too.
A bit saucy. Bit of a saucy prank. Oh, stop pulling my arm! It just instantly escalates.
Oh, Jed's arm, come on!
Oh, pull your fucking arm off!
I can't see you fucking try it. Your leg off.
No, I'm Saddle. I'll pull your fucking head off. I'm so cruel.
Yeah, we've assumed that then this load of British people suddenly got over. I mean, it's entirely possible.
It more than likely was, wasn't it? Members of the Bullingdon Club. So, I mean, bad for the staff, but it sounds like there's no great loss, really, these people.
No, I mean, it's... the thing is that they're saying that he was cruel. I mean, we don't know, but... Hey,
he was quite rude to his staff.
No, well, he was, rude to the staff, so, hey, what are you going to do? We don't know whether his friends are the same, but I imagine they were.
Do you think there's a chance that the staff maybe just fucking killed them all?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. If I was investigating this crime, I'd probably be less famous the actual, more like, I reckon what's happened there is you've dragged all of these people and murdered them. And, oh no, we don't know anything about this. It's driven us mad. We better get to the nearest asylum. Because we can't take whatever terrible things happen. Yeah, I think it's probably far more likely that the servants just hacked up him and his friends.
Well, that's also spooky.
But it's also it's all part of the thing. A load of decapitated bodies, whatever, dismembered. Right. Fast forward a century later, and a Japanese family by the name Matusita, which is where the house gets its name, moved in. And that all seemed okay, actually. They were honest and refined family.
It's weird that it's named after them, considering there was a massacre and a witch there beforehand.
I think it's probably like a rebranding exercise, but because they don't tell us what the. Well, also we don't seem to. Well, actually, no, we know the. Well, because the house. I mean, when the witch died, she just died on the grounds. That's where they built the house.
Oh right, I thought it was her house.
No. She was burnt at the stake on the site.
Right.
And then they built the house on that site.
Okay.
Legend.
Because the land was cheap, presumably, because it used to be a witch burning.
They tried to let him know. It's like, at least, get one of the locals to come and do the equivalent of an exorcism. And it's like, get Pazuzu out. But no, he was like, no, that's fine. I'm cruel, I don't care. And backfired.
Good.
Yeah. Well, enjoy getting ripped to pieces by your chum then. I will. Save me some money. Anyway, Japanese family move in. However, soon enough, the dark spirit of the house took over. The father became angry and violent, and one day came home from work. He found his wife with another man.
You're all right. Do you know what? I think it's all right to be angry and, well, maybe not violent, but I think it's all right to be angry.
Definitely not violent, but
if your wife's cheating on you.
I think angry is kind of like, yeah, you.
I mean, you can be violent to the other man, but again, I wouldn't personally.
Yeah, but you know,
I tend to get melancholy rather than angry as a person. I just go, oh, you're probably right to do it. I'll leave you to it then. Bye.
Probably similar, but that's not the path this guy took. He decided instead to go and get a knife and stabbed his wife, killed his 2 children, and then himself.
Ah,
not so nice. So yeah, that's unfortunate. So
don't overplay it now. I'm just going to go for a quick piss while we've got a break in.
Hello, it's me, Darveret. I hope you've enjoyed the first section of the podcast of Urbane Legends. What a spooky house. Wonderful stuff. The second part should play straight after this. They're released at the same time. And just to let you know, there are still many tickets available for my one-man show of Ulysses by James Joyce at the Lowestoft Playhouse. Good day.